Welcome back to the farm. Today we're going to reassemble the fuel pump for the Farmall F12. Instead of getting a kit, I purchased a sheet of diaphragm material 6x6, and that'll give me 2 diaphragms out of it. I removed the old diaphragm. It had a nut and washer on top of it. On the other diaphragm, it's pressed on, so there was no removing it. So I'll bring you over to the bench and we'll cut out the diaphragm. And here's the diaphragm material that I got. I'm going to be using the all-pack gasket cutter to cut out the circle. And what it does, it rides on a pin and creates a perfect circle. Now I measured halfway in to find the center, and now I'll put it on the pin. Spin it around. You can see it cut out a perfect circle. That's pretty close to the edge, but that'll be fine. Now I just have to punch the right size hole in the center and the right size holes around the outside for the screws and put it back together. I just used an old block of wood to set up the cutter on. We just put it in, has a point like a nail. And this gasket cutter has an adjustable razor blade for depth. Pretty handy tool. Now I'm going to just lay out the holes with a pen from the old gasket. Well, now that I got the right size hole punch, I'll cut it out. And now we have a new diaphragm for the pump. Now I'll reassemble it, and now that I have it back on the pump, all I have to do is tighten down the nut and washer that hold it, and put the top cover on. The check valves look fine, so I'll leave them alone and just install it back on the tractor. After we put the fuel pump on, we were not getting any spark, so we had to remove the magneto and clean up the points and adjust them. Now that we have spark, we realized the impulsor wasn't working, so we took it apart, and all of the pieces of it were froze up on the shafts. Now that we got them all loose, we'll put it back together, put it back on the tractor, and it should work out fine. What the impulsor is, the spring-loaded, as you see, this is a lock that locks into that spring-loaded part, and it gives a nice fast spin to it while you're cranking, so that it makes the spark. Now we'll put it back on the tractor. And now we got the tractor running. Put the fuel pump back on it and the magneto. It's running pretty good right now. Well, since we got the F12 running now, it had a flat tire on the back, so we decided to switch it back over to steel. We figured they never go flat. And the lugs are still pretty good on those. And we used the UMZ tractor to move the steel wheels around. Made in Ukraine. It's a UMZ 8244. Very similar to a Belarus or Belarus. 4-cylinder diesel, 4x4. And their 4x4 has final drives, kind of like a high clearance. Has a Allied 595 loader on it. Tires aren't loaded in the back. We have our 3-point hitchwood splitter set up on it. There's a Belarus up there. That's a 800. This is 82 horse. That's an 80. This is 2003, and the other one is in the 80s. They have almost identical engines, and parts are not too bad to get. There's the name, 8244. Now we can finally move around the F12, maybe even take it to a tractor show. Well, thanks for watching.